Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Notre Dame Primetime Live. I am your host, Ryan Ferville, with my co-hosts Ben and Sean. We are back for another episode this week after another dominating performance by Notre Dame against Navy, 49-10. Well, so a lot of things we'll get into tonight. The second edition of the College Football Playoff Rankings dropped yesterday. We'll get into that. There were some interesting takes from some interesting media personalities on that, so we'll get into that. We'll break down what happened in the against the Navy game in a snowy South Bend. Talk about a commitment that Notre Dame landed in the 2027 class in a 4-star safety, and then we'll get into breaking down Pitt. Notre Dame has a showdown. They're probably their only test left on the schedule at Pitt. So yeah, we got a jam-packed show, but let's go ahead and get into it.
We waited. We usually do Tuesdays, but we all got wind about the commitment today, so we wanted to push the episode just to match.
Yeah, totally. My source on the swim team told me that that we were getting a commitment today, so we pushed off the show.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. The playoff rankings dropped yesterday night. Kind of what I expected. I think is probably what all of us expected would be the case with the matchups and everything. How do we feel about what the committee gave to everybody yesterday night?
So I will say this. I disliked how much last night they kept talking about the Miami thing, but two things I don't like about it. I like USF there. I thought there was a chance with JMU, and I think Louisville losing is the reason it's not. But I'm fine with USF. I don't like Miami holding if it was an auto bid, it'd be different. I don't like them holding the ACC slot when they literally have less than a 10% chance to play in the title game. It just makes no sense to have them locked in as that slot because
I think it has to do with the rank, where they're just ranked out right there.
But they have no shot to be that, though. They have no shot
They
to
could.
be
They really could. They have to.
They need Duke. They need Duke. They need SMU. They need Louisville, and they need Virginia, and they need Georgia Tech to all lose games.
Yeah, that's not impossible though.
Yeah, it's very unlikely.
It's already happened once. I went this is the thing. I no offense to Virginia, to Virginia, Duke, and Louisville, but they're not teams that where you could consistently be like, okay, this week they're gonna dominate. They're teams that mess up.
We didn't know that I mean, Louisville was favored against Cal and got beat. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's not a guarantee.
I picked Cal. So.
I mean, I did too, but I do think I agree with you, Sean, on the Miami thing. I don't think Miami. I'll be honest. I don't see a path for Miami to get into the playoff as an at-large bid, even if they were to go 10-2. I think the ACC is so bad. It's so bad, and you look at how the committee views I mean, Miami's the best team, and they're at 16, 15 right now. The ACC is so bad. I don't think the committee is going to put in a team that couldn't even make the ACC championship. That's just my opinion. I think the only way Miami gets in is they have to win the ACC, which they need a lot of help for that to happen. And I get the whole, if they finish 10-2 and Notre Dame finish, I think by that time, Notre Dame's going to be in that 8-7 seed. As long as we handle business this weekend, where I don't think that they're going to be close enough to even have that discussion.
I think there's a world where both make it. But I think that the likelihood of Miami as an at-large is two paths. One, Texas, Oklahoma lose. They go up to from 15 to 13. Vanderbilt loses to Tennessee. They're up at 12. Then they just need an up one, maybe two. They're not out of it, especially if Notre Dame loses to Pitt. That definitely helps their at-large chances. But that's one path. I think two, I do think there is a chance. I'm not saying it's a high chance, and I'm not saying it's the right chance. But I think there's a chance that if Miami ends the year, beats Pitt, like we played Pitt, and they start to trend into, because everything they've said about Miami is that they're just inconsistent. So if they are consistent the last 3 weeks of the season, I could see them being, okay, now we're going to factor the head-to-head with Notre Dame. And now we're going to factor swapping them. I don't see it happening, but I'm saying it's a possibility that at the end of the year, the committee could finally say Miami's consistent, head-to-head matters.
So I think what's going to happen is, this is my prediction. I think Vandy drops to Tennessee. I think Oklahoma's going to drop to Alabama this week. I think Texas is going to drop to Georgia this week. Then, realistically speaking about it, then there's only 2 teams in front of Miami then that actually deserve to be in front of Miami, and it's debatable. Like, I think they're better than Utah. They deserve to be in over Utah. The only other team is BYU, and if BYU loses in Clifton next week, then BYU's out. BYU has to make the Big 12 championship to stay in, and they have to. And it would shock me a little bit, but it wouldn't shock me at all if they let BYU stay in after losing the Big 12 championship as a one-loss team.
It wouldn't shock me that if they're 11-2 and Miami's 10-2 too, that they do a swap. If they get dominated by Texas Tech again, that's where I think the swap.
Well, but then goes the question of, like, okay, where was BYU? Because they're not going to drop BYU below Miami for losing a conference championship.
I think they would say, hey guys, BYU had 2 chances to play a playoff team, and they got dominated both times. I think if they get dominated. But
my thing is that I think BYU would have to be below Miami going into that game. And it'd have to be like Miami's the last team in. BYU, it's gonna have to be something like that, because I think we did it last year with SMU. They didn't boot SMU out after losing the conference championship game. So it really depends.
And here's my thing, right? Like,
I think what they're setting up for, next week, Cincinnati BYU to be a game day. I feel like they're setting it up for us to be like, okay, here's BYU. They're gonna have a 3rd ranked win on our CFP poll, or 2nd ranked win on our CFP poll, so they match Miami.
So I want to get to this comment real quick. Frustrated Notre Dame fan says, the ACC may not even get a team in the playoffs. Duke has 4 losses, but only 1 conference loss, and has an easy schedule ahead. Tech and Pitt play each other. SMU plays Louisville and has more ACC losses. If Duke were to win the ACC championship, they were talking about this on the playoff show. If that happens,
Duke would be above USF if they beat Virginia this week.
I don't think so. Here's my thing. I don't think, and this is my personal opinion, I don't think a 9-4 Duke that wins the ACC with losses to UConn, Illinois, and I'm blanking on who their other non-conference losses. I don't think they should get in over a 12-1 James Madison who wins the Sun Belt, or especially if it's like a Tulane team. Oh, that's who their other loss was, to Tulane. They got blown out by Tulane.
Duke?
If Tulane wins the American, If Tulane wins the American, then I think
let's talk. Navy could beat USF this weekend, and that's completely flip things.
Yeah.
Right. But
my main thing with that is that if it's Duke's going to have to beat Virginia. They're going to be above. They're going to, at the end of the day, they're not going to move USF above 20. Let's be real here. Like, we all know they won't, unless something crazy happens. Like, what's USF's remain? They don't play a single.
Like, if they go out there and beat Navy by, like, maybe they beat them by 40, maybe.
It would take a lot with no ranked games, and realistically, no one else. They have no one else ranked on their schedule. It would take a lot for him to go up above probably 19 or 18. And if Duke beats Virginia, I definitely see them just playing Duke at 19 next week.
I think for the group of 5 is either going to be USF or JMU. I think that if USF loses, I think JMU is going to be the team at 12-1. I don't think it's going to be.
I'm kind of surprised. I'll be honest. When these came out, I was surprised that South Florida was ahead of James Madison. I get the North Texas one, right? Because they blew out North Texas on the road. They played each other. Cool. James Madison, their one loss is to Louisville on the road, right? South Florida has a loss to an unranked Memphis and a Miami team that Louisville beat. So my thing is, why are we not giving them Correct. Is it just
Because
because
you got to look at James Madison's. Like, let's go look at. I'll pull it up right now. It's not that great. They have a very easy schedule. The Louisville game they played close, but that was their hardest game. The other ranked games, or the other games they play close, like Louisiana, who I think doesn't have more than 3 wins. Yeah, they're 4-6. Another close game, Georgia State, who's 1-8. Like they have close games against bad teams, and for you to be a Group of 5 team like that, you have to blow out bad teams, and you have to win that Louisville game. A James Madison team, they have to basically be undefeated or have a loss to a top ranked team in the country.
This year. Depends on the year. This year.
This year. If it's a year like the American sucks and like the Americans send in a 3 or 4 loss team, then yeah.
So are we just in the are we just the consensus then that whoever wins the American gets the G5 spot?
No, that's what I was just saying. I think that if USF loses to Navy this week, I think there's a chance you could see JMU above Navy.
Well, then wouldn't you see Navy get in there? Then if they beat South Florida?
Navy is a terrible loss. I don't think Navy wouldn't play in the championship game though, because they lost to North Texas. Would they? Because
they're leading the division right now.
The Navy but they played an extra game over everyone else. They have 5 wins compared to 4.
Navy, what sucks about them is even if they win the American, their playoff decision will be made before Army Navy.
So Navy they play South Florida, Memphis, and Tulane. Their final, like in the next couple weeks. So,
and I don't think they win all 3.
Navy doesn't play Tulane. I think their last game is Memphis, and then they have to wait until they play Florida, Memphis, and then they have to wait for Army at the end of the season. But and this is my thing. I'm confused on. Let's say hypothetically Navy gets the playoff spot, or Army Navy game 2 weeks before the playoffs. Does Navy not sit like, okay, realistically, Navy will, but like, would it be understandable for them to be like, let's send out the second unit, let's make sure no one gets hurt?
This is the only reason I think they should move the Army Navy game, even though I love it on its own week. But if it's like last year, if Army was the team at 12-1 that was picked in the playoffs, and then right before the playoffs they go to 12-2 and they play one less game to get chosen in.
Well, imagine if they lose to Army right after they get selected to play for the playoff, like. That's tough. Yeah, like that's where I'm like.
I feel like that's why I don't think they'd put Navy above James.
That's true.
You know, I will say
because you have to look at it this way. You're not looking at it as Navy has played a 11 game. They played an 11 game schedule, not a 12 game schedule like JMU. So there's that game they could lose, or maybe like there's just a whole list of things that could happen that would stop them from wanting to do that because they're not playing on the same basis points.
Yeah,
I will say with this, people talk about it. I want to hear the same discourse of why is Notre Dame ahead of Miami? Well, why is Miami ahead of Louisville? Right?
Yeah.
And I have a lot of opinions about that human being.
I think Miami should be. So the same reason I think Miami should be ahead of Louisville, I think Notre Dame should be ahead of Miami.
Okay, I just looked it up. So if Navy were to win out and North Texas and Tulane were to win out, then Tulane and North Texas would be in the championship.
So then how did Army play for it last year?
Because Army was undefeated in the conference when they played for it.
Yeah.
And Army didn't lose. The thing is that they would all have 3 losses, and Navy would not have played Tulane. But Tulane would have beaten North Texas already, and North Texas was a win over Navy.
Army won the American.
Yeah, Army won the American, then lost the Army Navy game. But then still had the bowl. They had the bowl game assigned to them before the Army Navy game, and they weren't even qualified to play in that bowl game.
I think that the Duke thing you brought up, while there's a chance, I think it's unrealistic. I still think that they would be like, well, this Duke team beat a ranked Georgia Tech, a ranked Virginia. Their wins right now are looking better than some of these teams. Maybe we'll stick them in.
So speaking of what Sean was talking about, we'll play this clip here, and then we'll kind of get into our thoughts on this afterwards.
Oh.
That Louisville is ranked below Miami. No, because if you think that Louisville being ranked behind Miami mirrors the conversation that we had about Miami and Notre Dame last week, you were not listening.
See, but
That's
I'm with
conversation.
Biggs on this. This is a similar situation. Now, you're saying Miami has a better best win than Louisville.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's much better because Louisville's best win is Miami.
Yeah.
And they're not that far apart.
And
So,
I actually think that, like, if Louisville were ranked ahead, I would be fine with that. The thing that bothered me last week was that Miami had a top 10 win and a head-to-head win over a team that were 8 spots behind.
yes, I agree. And I had the same problem as you.
But I don't think that's the same thing that's happening here.
But you have an iron triangle here.
Yeah.
And you've got to rank one ahead of one and the other ahead of the other. And so this is the decision they've made, and I'm okay with that, because if you did who do you think would be favored against all these other teams, you'd have Notre Dame favored against more of them.
The college football playoff stuff, as you keep going into the weeks, gets more and more complicated because context expands and results expand. But if your takeaway from last week's discussion about Miami was they beat them head to head and the discussion should be over, that's not at all what.
No, it has to be all other things equal, and it kind of was all other things equal last week. It's not all other things equal now, and it's not all other things equal with Miami and Louisville.
I completely disagree.
I disagree with him. I agree with Andy.
Ari's just a fucking idiot. I was gonna say he's not gonna watch the fucking podcast. If he does, he's upset. Sue me. I don't fucking care. Ari, like, you're fucking full of shit. You said last week, oh, Miami beat Notre Dame. Explain to me how Miami at what was it, 8-2, and Notre Dame 7-2, and Miami at 7-2. Explain to me how that works. Like, how are they allowed to do that? Like, what happened to head to matter? No, you're a fucking idiot, Ari. You don't hold the same requirements for Notre Dame you do Miami because you hate Notre Dame. You don't like us. You tried to play the shit last year like, oh, I took you guys in the playoffs. We all know for a fact that if Notre Dame lost to Georgia, it would have been, I finally believed in Notre Dame, but they proved me right again how they can't win anything. We know that's what he would say. The thing is this, Ari, you want to say, oh, I look at context. You didn't look at context last week. Miami has considerably been worse since playing Notre Dame. Ask any Miami fan. They will say, our team has not looked that good. That was the best game of our season. The fact that's week 1, and that's the best game of our season? Are you shitting me? That team is not playoff worthy. They have a chance to prove they are by winning out and winning 3 games, but right now, they're not in that situation. You lose to a shitty SMU team. You lose to a Louisville team who's only ranked that high because they beat you. It's not the same. It's all, like, he's so fucking stupid.
To give Ari credit to an extent, and I will say this, he was last season. I don't think he hates Notre Dame. I think that he probably dislikes the fans right now. But last year, he did pick us in the playoffs. I know what you were saying with the Georgia thing, but he was a Notre Dame. I don't want to use the word supporter, but he was behind Notre Dame last year. So I don't think he is a hater. However, I disagree with his take. I think that it's a hypocritical take. And I think he needs to understand that just the same reason Louisville might not look as good as Miami right now and they're ahead. It's the same with Notre Dame.
My thing is, I understand the take from Miami fans and other people of head-to-head should matter. The games have to matter, right? I get that, and I can understand that thought process, right? Even though I disagree. So here's my thing. Cool. Ari, if you want to say head-to-head matters, and that's nothing else matters. The metrics that all have that tell you Notre Dame is better than Miami, because every single metric that the committee uses, game control, FPI, SP+, strength of schedule, strength of record, all favor Notre Dame. All of them. The only thing Miami has on Notre Dame is, well, they beat them head-to-head. That's it. That is the only thing they have. If you want to sit there and say, cool, nothing else matters but the head-to-head, cool. But use that same logic when it comes to Louisville and Miami, and don't switch up and be like, well, it's not the same thing. It's completely different. No, it's not. Louisville went into Hard Rock and beat them. It's not different.
My main
Like,
thing is this: I fully understand saying head-to-head matters. I agree with it; it matters to a point, but that shouldn't be the number one thing to decide everything. Because if head-to-head matters, then FSU should be in the playoffs because they beat
Well,
Alabama. That's the problem with the
but the
head-to-head
difference is
matters
they
thing.
don't have the same record, right?
But that's not. They don't have the same resume.
But
Notre Dame and
Miami,
Miami
Notre
do
Dame's
not. They don't.
resume, I do
They
think
are
that
not similar.
if you look technically at rankings for strength of schedule and strength of records, it's not far apart.
Pretty far. Let me pull it up. I'm pretty sure it's decently far
Miami.
apart.
So Miami's
Strength of
16.
records, I think 5 spots back.
Miami is 16 with strength of schedule. Notre Dame is 13. At least the last time I had looked at it.
That's strength of
look at
record,
that.
Ryan.
Strength of record, Miami's 15. Notre Dame is 12.
Notre Dame's strength of schedule right now is 30. I just checked.
No, that's remaining. I think is 30.
Oh, I thought remaining was 70. Take a look at that.
Oh wait, no, remaining 60. What am I looking at? Oh wait, strength of record we're 13.
Well, each
I mean,
site has it different. Each site has
Yeah,
it different.
ESPN's FPI is what I'm looking at here. Notre
Yeah.
Dame on the FPI scale. This is where Notre Dame ranks, and this is what I'm saying is about the resume as well. Notre Dame FPI is ranked currently right now as the 5th best team. Where is Miami? They're all the way at 13. Where are they ranked overall on projected win-loss? Notre Dame projected win-loss right now is at 9.7. Where is Miami? Their projected win-loss is at 9. That's a whole 0.5 spots away from each other.
I mean, but look at strength of record and strength of schedule. Two big, well, not strength of schedule. They don't use that anymore. They use strength of record, but still look at strength of schedule.
Well, they use it. They consider it, but it's not as important. Yes.
Yeah.
See,
I
right.
agree with y'all. I'm just saying that I think some of the metrics with it aren't far apart. I still think Notre Dame should be higher. They look like the better team. Eye test is the main thing. Notre Dame's a different team now.
My main thing is when you look at Miami's resume compared to Notre Dame's resume is Notre Dame has a loss to number 3 team in the country. Notre Dame has a loss to number 12 by a point. Notre Dame has a loss to number 12 team, 13 team in the country by 3 points away. Miami has a loss to an unranked SMU, and Miami has a loss at home to an realistically might be unranked. They lose another game, Louisville. But right now, we'll say what they're ranked 20th right now. Those aren't the same resumes. This is my point with head-to-head. Now, where something like Alabama, Georgia, that's where head-to-head matters because Alabama and Georgia have both beaten the same amount of top 10 teams. They've beaten similar to top 25 teams. Alabama's beaten one more. That's a similar resume. The losses, though, are not the same when it comes to that.
The problem is people bring up the wins, and
Miami doesn't have a single ranked win right now besides
Notre
us.
Dame. Yeah.
But does Notre Dame have any other besides USC?
They have USC if they beat Pitt this Tuesday or this Saturday.
Here's the frustrating
you look
part,
at but here's another thing. You look at top 40 wins. Notre Dame has 3 of those. Miami has 1, and it's still us. Miami doesn't have another win ranked high until you get to top 60 right now, because that's how bad SMU's ranked in the FPI.
Wait, hold on. USF, they did beat USF.
Okay, USF.
Yeah,
but that's group of 5. I'm saying like actual group, like similar.
That's going to be a playoff team probably.
But here's my thing. Here's the frustrating part, right? You can sit up there and say, "Well, Miami has a better win." Their better win is Notre Dame. So if you're gonna try to say Notre Dame doesn't deserve to be ranked ahead of Miami, you can't then turn around and prop up Miami's resume by saying, well, they beat a top 10 Notre Dame. Like, you can't have it both ways. You can't, like...
I agree. I mean, I think Notre Dame should be ahead of Miami. I think the strength of record, all the analytics, and the eye test is that Notre Dame is different. Miami's decreasing. Notre Dame's increasing and getting better. And I think they should be ahead of Miami.
Like, is
I'm
it
just
crazy
saying
to say that
I understand the argument, but now I'll be honest. I think they're too far back with 3 games left. Not from the playoffs, but from jumping Notre Dame.
I think realistically they could. Like if they go,
Notre Dame.
They could. Like let's be Notre Dame's gonna reach a ceiling. We're not gonna be above a 1-loss team. So if Texas Tech stays 1 loss, Oregon stays 1 loss.
I think Oregon loses.
Well, okay. Well, right now let's just
the only way
right now Oregon doesn't lose a game.
All these teams are going to lose. Like, we can't assume this is going to be the same because teams lose to who they should.
No, what I'm saying is if you look at what's in front of Notre Dame for them to keep going up, every team in front of them realistically is favored in every game they play, and they aren't projected to lose another game.
Yeah, exactly.
Besides IU and Texas A&M and Ohio State and Alabama, they have to play the conference championship game against top 14.
But let's talk about.
But if you look at that, Miami has enough room to make up 13. What is that? What is Miami? They're 13th right now?
Yeah.
15th.
15th right now. So they have enough room to make up that jump. They have enough room to make up.
Because of some of the teams. But let's talk. I mean, I don't think Notre Dame's biggest threat is Miami. I think it's going to really depend on this weekend. I think if you see Texas and Oklahoma win, that is a chaos scenario. I think Notre Dame's ceiling is 9, but they are going to be.
I think we can
one of the bot. I think they're going to be one of the last 2 spots in.
Sean, I disagree. I think Notre Dame gets 8 when it's all said and done. I think because this is a little bit of a spoiler, but I think USC beats Oregon in a couple weeks.
I do too, but what if? That's a big what if, right?
That is a big what if, but that's what I'm projecting is I think USC beats Oregon.
If Oregon lost, that would have helped us tremendously.
The main thing we want to have happen if we want to get 8, if we're being real here, we want to see them be like, okay, you know what? Maybe Notre Dame beating, like, let's say if Oregon goes out there and wins by a field goal at home. Maybe Notre Dame beating USC and then going out there and beating Pitt. Maybe that's better for resume. Only way I see us getting 8 is if Texas Tech loses the Big 12 championship and they somehow, like, if they put 2 Big 12 teams in, like, if let's say it's Texas Tech's 1 loss and then BYU goes and wins the Big 12 championship, I think both of them would be under Notre Dame.
You don't think if Oregon loses a game, that's
well, that's it. That's if I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think USC's defense is going to
with how bad or I mean not bad Oregon's but just Oregon.
Like they played one of the top defensive teams in the country and they scored 23 points. Or no, 19
they scored
points.
18. They scored
18 points. Like, yeah, that's a game you got to win. That's a game where it shows more that Oregon can win than if Oregon lost.
I mean, we'll see how USC plays against Iowa this weekend.
Yeah.
But I'm very interested to see if and Notre Dame fans should root for USC to help their resume, even though it sucks too.
Ben's not going to.
I said it sucks.
I would rather agree with R even root for USC.
I think a chaos scenario that I'm scared about is even 1, right? Because Oklahoma loses to Alabama, cool. Texas beats Georgia. Texas is jumping Notre Dame, even with a ranked win against Pitt. Notre Dame will be 10 at that point. They're that last at-large bid. And if Texas doesn't lose again, or if it's Oklahoma and they jump us and they don't lose again, is that Miami spot creeping in? And that's what worries me. Is we need. I
don't think Oklahoma jumps us because I think realistically, if Oklahoma beats Alabama, I don't know if that. You have to look at it this way. That means Alabama's probably going outside the top 12 or top 10. They're not going to leave Alabama in the top 10 with that resume. Let's be real, because then you have to actually talk about
with that resume. They beat 4 straight ranked teams.
But what happened last year? They did the same thing, and guess what? The committee looked at their losses, and now you're going to. But now you're going to tell Alabama, okay, you're on a thin line. We're putting you on a thin line here. We're going to keep you here. If you win out, we're going to move you up because that's what you deserve. But you're showing what we saw last year in Alabama, losing these games like that when you have really good wins. Because they had a really bad loss to Florida State. They had a decent loss to Tennessee. And then all that adds up is another Vandy loss. And guess who will play at the end of the season? Vandy 2.0.
I don't think Texas beats Georgia because it's at Georgia. People talk hypothetical that a 3-loss team should know. But if they do beat Georgia, Notre Dame sits there at 10, last at-large spot. It'd be a stressful few weeks. I think Notre Dame's in. I'm just saying it'd be a little stressful. My
main thing with the Miami thing is that I just feel like I don't know. I see a world where either we both make it or neither.
We need to whoop Pitt's ass.
I see a world where either we both make it or neither of us make it.
Yeah, that's what
I think it's more likely just one.
I think if we're both 2-2, I see either both of us or neither of us make it.
One quick question, and then we'll move on. Could you see if you're the committee, and say the nightmare scenario in the ACC happens, Duke wins the ACC championship. You have a 10-2 Miami. You also have a 12-1 James Madison and a 11-2 Tulane American champion. Does the committee put in Miami?
They can't.
And the two G5 conference champs instead of Duke?
No.
No,
I think you have to realistically look at it. At what point? I don't think we keep saying like, oh, Duke could be a conference champ and be ranked below 2G. It's not going to happen, guys. Let's be real. If James Madison gets in the top 25, it's got to be 25 or 24. Like SMU's receiving votes in the AP. So if it's SMU that makes it, I think they're ranked in the top 25 decently high.
I think it's atrocious if Notre Dame, we've already talked about this, they're 9. They're 9 right now. With 3 weeks left, if they're 9 and keep winning and fall out, that's atrocious.
Like it sucks, but then it goes back. Like it's the same thing that we heard last year. You gotta win your big games, and you gotta have a good season.
You shouldn't fall when you keep winning. If they feel, hey, this team's the 9th best team, and they keep winning and blowing out teams and beating a ranked Pitt, how could you drop a team when they're 9?
The only way would be if Texas beats Georgia and A&M, they rightfully should jump Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Well, I think something that we don't know, like we aren't fully reminiscing yet, is that Vandy might be this 2-loss team that doesn't make it. And they're in the SEC. Like, let's be real here. Like, Vandy, I wouldn't say is a better team. Like, no, they're not better than us. Let me restate that. They almost lost to Auburn. They almost lost to Auburn in overtime. They're not better than us. But their resume is very similar to us with the fact that they don't have a ranked win outside Missouri, who was hurt. Like, they're very similar to us right now. So that's another 2-loss team. I would understand it if it's like, okay, Alabama makes. I understand it if it's Oklahoma, Alabama, Tech. If it's 8 or 6 SEC teams make it in, and we just get screwed, fuck. Like there's nothing we can do. We have to we have to hold the fucking bar on the extra.
Well, I just don't think you can drop a team for when they keep winning, and if you say they're the 9th best, and then you're just like not anymore when they keep blowing teams out, that's fucked. But I will say that it won't. I think we're in. I think we make it. We've said it for weeks. If we went out, we're in.
If you had the choice, would you prefer 8 or 9 or the 10 seed? Kind of like this because 8 or 9, you're most likely playing Ohio State.
It depends. I just want to be in. To be honest, I don't care what.
I would rather just make I don't really care if we win the Natty this year. I don't think we're going to win it.
Michigan, whether I agree with it or not.
So here's my thing. I think Michigan's chances, regardless if they beat Ohio State or not, depend on USC. They need USC to lose another game. Because if USC wins out and Michigan wins out, I don't care. I don't care.
My main thing with that is that I don't think they have similar resumes.
You think Michigan's is better?
I think Michigan's is way better. They beat the number 1 team in the country. They don't even beat they beat possibly the best team we've seen in 3 years of CFP.
But USC
since NIL.
The team that
I would agree with that.
They dominated Michigan.
Yeah, I would agree with that if it was a close loss.
I understand that, but we have to look at it this way. Why are we not giving Vandy the credit? Because Vandy beat Missouri with a broken quarterback, with an injured quarterback who was not playing in the game. Michigan was missing Justin Hayes in the whole second half of that game.
Yeah, but
I think they give leverage. But I don't know if it's the final decision. I think they give leverage. It's a pretty good reason. It is.
No, they were already losing.
No, they were only down by 7 when Justin Hayes at halftime.
But they were down. But then USC had the ball, and they.
But let's look here. Justin Hayes went out at halftime.
Also, the backup.
You have to defend Michigan here. It's a fucking pain in the ass.
The backup running back didn't look bad, if I remember right.
But it doesn't matter. You're losing one of the best running backs in the country. It doesn't matter if he looks bad or not.
If we lose Jeremiah Love instead of getting 100 yards, but Jadarian Price comes in and gets 100 yards, what's the difference if it's 100 yards?
Because we lose our best running back in the country, and we don't have the 1-2 punch that we prepared the whole season for.
But you're getting the same exact production.
So I have a question. So let's take out Jeremiah Love for the rest of the fucking season. Are we as good without Jeremiah Love?
There's a difference.
But no, it's not. It doesn't. If you take Jeremiah Love out at halftime against Pitt, are we good in the first half, or are we better in the second half?
My question is, in the second half, if Jeremiah Love versus Pitt runs for 100 yards and a touchdown, Is there a difference between him doing it and Jadarian Price running for 100 yards in a touchdown?
It does not, Sean. It does not matter because you're still taking away the best player on their team. You're taking. It does not matter how the and who knows? Maybe Justin Hayes runs for a lot more yards.
Here we go. Adam brings up a good point, but USC was also on its third string running.
They were, but guess what? They're also that's what I'm saying though. They're going to give leverage in a way. They're going to say, well, Michigan was missing the best player on their team, a top 3 running back in the country. USC was missing a running back who's probably going to be maybe an NFL like 6th round pick someday.
But then a third string's bad though. Like
it was a walk on. It was a walk on.
But at the end of the day, what is worse, losing the number 3 running back in the country or losing like number 25 in the country?
Losing number 3.
But that's where I think it.
Also, Michigan at half got the ball back.
That's where I think
they started the second half of the ball.
I agree, Ben. I agree with you 100%. If the loss was closer. But the fact that you're in the second half and when you're down 14, 17, you're not running the ball. You're throwing the ball because you're down. And I think they had to
they were down 7 points. They got the ball. They started the ball in the second half.
Agreed. Let me finish. But like situationally, like the game switched to where they had to throw the ball because they were down, even though they were down 7. But thinking about it like this, like USC, if it was close, but beating them by like 20 something points, like it makes it like, I don't know if I think they would have still won.
I don't know I'm not saying I don't think they still would have won. I'm not saying like how the game would have. I was saying they're going to give them like leverage and be like, hey, this team wasn't fully healthy. We have to fully look at it from different ways.
Like if Notre Dame got lost by the same amount to Miami that they did.
Well, no, a running back. Wait, so this is my thing. A running back does make that up because your whole game plan changes. I bet you Michigan does not throw the ball 3 times in the red zone. That's what led to the pick in the red zone against USC. I bet you also Michigan does not throw the ball 3 times to start the second half. They didn't have their running back. Like that's what happens in that situation.
Okay, how about this? What about the loss to Oklahoma?
But also you have a team like the whole.
Oh yeah, Oklahoma loss is just bad. Like that's just a bad loss.
They had 2 bad like at that point. But like when you think about this, it's like it's not just the running back for Michigan's team. It's the whole team of Michigan. And if the other
I understand that, but you have to look at from you're taking away something off a game plan you've prepped. That's my thing. And like maybe if they thought Justice Hayes, if they thought Justice Hayes was hurt and like they prepared for it, I'd completely agree with you. But that was a freak injury that he had happened. He got rolled up on. So like it kind of adds up for him.
All right, let's go ahead.
And I hate to do it. I hate to defend Michigan because I hate them almost as much as I hate USC.
You're Neff's favorite person right now.
Neff in a hole.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about the Navy game that happened this past Saturday. We're not going to spend too much time on it because it was an absolute bloodbath from start to finish. I thought the defense played very well. Early in the first half, they gave up about 150 rushing yards to Navy, and then cleaned that up a lot in the second half, holding that Navy team, which people can laugh all they want. It's the best rushing offense in college football, holding them to just 52 yards in the second half. Jeremiah Love had another one of his signature Heisman moments, which me being there in person, part of it is because I was drunk as fuck. But I did not realize that Jeremiah Love was even almost tackled on that play. The only thing I knew is that he broke free for like a 40-plus yard touchdown. But what are your guys' thoughts on the game? Anything you liked, didn't like?
You go first, Ben.
The Jeremiah Love touchdown run reminded me a lot of the Torrey Hunter Jr. If you remember was it Boston College, the first year of Kaiser. He almost scored it. It should have been a touchdown. Torrey Hunter Jr. got rolled up. It looked like he didn't get tackled. He laid on top of a player and he took him for a touchdown. It's nice that we finally got that back and Jeremiah Love was able to do it. This is a game, bro. You got your dog out. This is a game that we have to win. Like we lined up this schedule. We thought Navy was going to be a good team. We made it a night game. We believed that this was this is a decent Navy team. A lot of people hate on Navy because of the days when like players were going to Navy because they wanted to play college football. I heard people say it was basically a D2 school, except you had to give up 4 years of your life after football was over. That's why I hear people say about Navy and Army. We need to notice now that these Navy players, like Navy had to go out there and get NIL to keep some of their players from getting poached. Like, we know that?
I thought
Like,
they could. I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt you. I'm 99% certain that service academies cannot play NIL because of government contracts.
someone told me Blake Horvath got like $1 million in NIL deals.
It might be like a separate thing, but I know that the schools themselves can't play them. Maybe like something with boosters,
Like
but
sponsorships and
maybe sponsor, because with them having a government and being associated with the government, they can't get that source of income.
But like I was like, these kids, like, they were, even if it's not NIL, they were still trying to get poached from other schools. This was a big thing. Okay, no, they can't receive. I don't know where I saw that. Someone told me that he got like close to $1 million offer to go to Alabama. Or not Alabama, Oklahoma, because Oklahoma wanted him after watching him in the bowl game. But no, like, this is a good team. Like, we're watching, like, Navy, they're going to be competing in the American for a while now, because they're able to like sort of keep players that are like wanting to play there longer now as well. Also, realistically, the separation. Oh, geez, Frable. Were you drunk during this?
I was very, very much so. Yeah.
I did not know that. The Service Academy, they have weight limits for players?
They do, yeah. You have weight and height, I believe weight and height limits.
I don't know if it's high.
Yeah,
because they always have because you have to have for
no. David Robinson played at Navy.
Well, they have weight limits because you have to meet the military standards.
Yeah, the PT standards.
Yeah.
But realistically, like, Navy and Army, they've been able to get these kids who are really good athletes. And what I think is what we're seeing here is that more schools are seeing, like, oh, we can go and poach these kids, but like, do they really want to leave? Because, like, let's be real here. Like, Sean, Army and Navy, anything military-wise, after, and this is sort of not to do with football, but you get set up pretty well after you're done serving. Like, you have a pretty good setup, right?
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, with the fact when you go to the academy, you're not enlisted, you're an officer, so you make even more, right?
Yeah, you make a lot of money out of college.
Yeah, it's a good setup, and it's a good selling point. It's a good recruiting pitch.
And there's and like, even if you are an NFL prospect, we've seen it before. Like, players get exempt from the military. Like David Robinson, wasn't he one of them? He got exempted.
There was a quarterback for Army or Navy that was a big time talent that went to the Ravens, right?
Yeah. So, like, even if it does work out and you go to the NFL, like, you can get an exemption. Realistically, it's a great like recruiting pitch. It's like, go work your ass off for 4 years, set yourself up for the rest of your life. It's basically what Notre Dame does with a lot of their players, but except it's a guarantee of what's going to happen. Unlike job market being how job markets are. But yeah, I think this is a good win. I think this is a good Navy team. I think we're fine. This is a game we have to win. Every game's a game we have to win now.
I love the snow. Something about it being a night game with the snow going. It was just beautiful to see. I will say this, and I said this on Twitter. Enjoy this. I don't ever remember seeing Notre Dame Navy at night. Ever. It's always like
I think the last one was the game that we got upset in, what was it, 08 or 07 when they ended the streak.
Almost 20
that was the last
years.
one. Yeah.
So
but me being there in person, like, nobody expected it to snow, which I thought that was, being at Notre Dame Stadium itself is magical and has the mystique and everything, but being there and we all expected it to rain, but it got so damn cold that the rain just started turning to snow as the game went on. I don't know how it looked for you guys on TV, but it was beautiful. Like, there's just something special about Notre Dame Stadium at night with snow that it's just different. But I mean, I think I agree with everything you guys said. I think this was obviously a must-win game. I think this is still a good Navy team, regardless of us beating them 49-10. Realistically, Freeman took his foot off the gas very much earlier in this game. Like, CJ Carr didn't even play an entire 3 quarters. I believe Jay Love came out right as the 3rd quarter ended. You got to see some Kenny Minchie time. Shout out to Minchie Men. by the way. If you know, you know. And we got to see Aeneas Williams go out there and get a 60, 70-yard touchdown run. It was nice to see the young guys get out there. Hey, we saw Cam Williams snaps.
Real quickly, I promise to do this. I promise to do this.
Oh yes, turn it up. We need to hear it.
It's pretty. It's a.
Calm down. Where you coming?
Someone out. Was there at the pond?
Carmen. I mean,
well, see, you can't make that meme with CJ Carr because some people get upset.
I will say this. I thought Kenny Minchie looked great. I will
saying this.
You could definitely, and this isn't a knock, I think he looked amazing. I do think Minchie somewhere next year he would be smart to transfer, go to not an Auburn, go to a Big Ten school. I could see him at like an Indiana or something like that. You never know, right? But I think that would be awesome for him. But I think that you can really, when you watch both of them play, and it's limited snaps, who knows what Minchie would look like with even more. I think you could really tell the difference between Carr and him. I think you really can. And not that he's a bad player. He's a fantastic player. I'm just saying you could tell the difference of
Sean, I don't know. That one throw he made where he was running around in the backfield, had two guys in his face,
Gino Gaduli,
and throws it out there. And I want to say it was Flanagan, who he hit.
Yeah, he looked really good.
Beautiful.
I'm not saying otherwise.
I'm not gonna lie to you. This whole season, in my mind, is in spite of Gino Gaduli.
I think that he's going to do amazing. I'm very happy with how the game played. They dominated Navy. We need to dominate the rest of the way. Also, it felt such like college football to see both teams with each other with the alma maters. That was really nice.
By the way, shout out NBC for doing something doing actually something right, because for some reason, I don't know why, but in recent years when our games were on NBC, they always used to stay live past the alma mater. They don't do that anymore for some reason. Shout out to them for actually staying for both of that, because that to me is one of the.
You want to know why? I have a suspicious reason why.
Why?
A night game is easier to go longer than a 3:30 game to go longer.
But they always made time for it before. Well, I guess because they
did. But I'm saying now maybe they got shit for it.
I also think
heaven forbid we go 10 minutes longer.
And I think that if this was A&M versus Notre Dame and they won, you would see the celebration, but I don't think we would see the alma mater. So I think it's a mixture of both.
Yeah. It's the best. It's one of the best traditions in college football. I just think that I also never knew. I went to the last two Notre Dame Navy games. I never realized that in their fight song, their alma mater, that they say "Beat Army" at the end of it. I never knew that. Like I can't believe. I know it's great. I just never I don't know. It's just something I never really realized. But
what a dumbass! Cool. No, I didn't know that either. Actually,
yeah.
You guys didn't know that?
No.
How did you not know that?
He's Air Force.
We go.
Oh, you're Air Force. Oh, I thought you were Army. I was like, how the fuck did you not know?
Yeah.
At the end of armies, they say "Beat Navy." I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Like that's a thing they do.
The only song
I've actually probably been wrong on Service Academy once, so I'm probably wrong on that one too. But I'm pretty sure they both do it.
All right. Real quick before we get into our next topics, a word from our guy Mark Rogers.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks: 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole. showstopper. 7 years with the voice of college football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select a betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
Thank you for that, Mark.
I want to make. I've heard this so many times, but I was like, whoa. Did he say $99 a month? Just making sure.
I think he meant $9.99.
Okay.
So yeah.
I heard $99 a month. I was like, holy shit.
I better be guaranteed a hit. I better be guaranteed a hit every single time.
Motherfucker. Oh, you don't even understand. You don't even understand.
All right.
You want to see my picket from this month alone? I'm getting railed.
So Notre Dame received their sixth commitment in the class of 2027 in a top 150, top 160 safety from Tustin, California. Ironically enough,
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech logo. What?
Henry.
Huh?
Henry.
What?
Is that his name?
Henry
quarterback?
Colombi?
Yeah, Henry Colombi, your best friend.
Yeah, okay. Anyway.
Triple chin.
Damn it.
I have no right to talk, but keep going.
Anyways, he is the sixth commitment in the class of 2027. Mike Mickens gets another elite.
Hey, real quick, let the two Irish brothers. He says, "Can I say one thing?" Let him say his one.
What did he say?
All right, but you can talk about this while we're waiting for the one thing.
Can I tell you guys one thing? Yeah, go ahead. Anyway,
fuck Texas.
Yes, we'll talk more about this here in a second.
The fifth best team in Texas.
But anyway, we continue the success in the recruiting trail in the state of California, beating out USC. We also beat out teams like Tennessee, UCLA, UNC, among some of those other top schools. Again, I think he talked about in his commitment that Freeman kind of sees him as like an Adon Schuler type. He's going to be more of that box safety. But if you read his scouting report, he's able to play everywhere. He can play corner, he can play nickel, he can play slot, he can play box coverage safety. So he's pretty versatile. So Mike Mickens probably loves that. You ask USC fans though, they cooled on him. So he wasn't a take at USC evidently. But you guys are kind of getting to see some of his tape. I know it's your first time probably seeing it. What are your guys' early thoughts on Khalil Terry committing to Notre Dame?
Yeah, I think this is a big get. I think this 2027 class is one of the best potentially, if we land some of these people, I keep saying this is going to be the best we've had in a long time. We've had great ones. So this is a great get. Adon Schuler, role, like you said, I think I don't want to compare to Adon Schuler because of expectations. But, I think that this guy is going to come in, and I think he's going to play frequently early. I think it's going to be the perfect timing to come in early. Schuler's going to be gone probably in a year or two, if not after this year, right? And then underneath by then, the guy that would be starting will probably be a senior or so.
It'll probably be Blair. I would imagine Blair probably fills in. Yeah.
So which Blair by then would be what, a junior?
A junior, yep. Junior.
Yeah. So, he's going to play early. So this guy's going to get the playing time. So he's a guy that I think could. I do wonder with him though. Adon Schuler took the time to become Adon Schuler. I wonder if it's going to be similar to where he's going to have the year or two patience to come in and look like a beast.
Fill in his frame.
Because Adon Schuler looks like a monster. Right. So I wonder if it's going to be the same, but the potential of this is through the roof. It's just a plug and play. That's just my opinion. It just feels like, you lose Adon Schuler. It's okay. It's okay. Like it's a replace with the same, and I love it. Like he is similar, and I think this is a really big get to a really good class.
Yeah. Ben?
I try to be positive a lot with our kids, because if you're a kid and you choose to go to Notre Dame, you choose to just agree to take that responsibility of being a Notre Dame student and doing all that. One thing I didn't like was the whole, I don't know why, and I understand it was probably a fuck up. The fight on thing during the interview, I have to look at it. It's just, I'm not saying he's gonna flip, but we need to treat it like this isn't like, we need to treat this like, hey, this kid could possibly do it, because maybe he did like USC, and like realistically, if it was like a Midwest kid, if this kid was like from Colorado, I wouldn't believe it that hard. But this kid's from Cali, like it's just something in the back of my head. But he's a good player, he makes the plays.
He said
He's
fight
gonna
on.
be. He said fight on during his interview.
Yeah. And then he said, "Oh," he's like, "Oh," and then said, "Go
But
Irish."
he said go Irish.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Like at the end of it, I just think we need to treat this kid like, hey, like there's a chance we could lose him. And if we lose him, then maybe he wasn't meant to be here. And like maybe he really, and that's my only thing. It's just that Cali kids gain them from USC, something like that happens. You have to have questions about it. So just treat this kid like we have his verbal commitment, but treat him like this is going to be a guy we need to make sure he signs the piece of paper.
And KVA wasn't easy. But
yeah, KVA was also not easy.
Important. So
when
you can land the Cali kids that aren't easy, it's worth it.
Yeah, and here's my thing, right? Like I kind of agree. I think you looked at, like, I noticed he had a prediction log for him to go to USC about, what was it, a month ago?
It was like when we played them. After that is when it changed.
And then Notre Dame played them. I believe he was there for that game. And then he made a second trip for the Notre Dame Navy game. And after that is when he decided to pull the trigger.
How could you not sing that?
I do think it's interesting, though, because, he's a Cali kid. He talked about that was his first time seeing snow. So I think it's good that you got him for a snow game, being a Cali kid. And he got to experience, hey, I'm going to be playing in weather like this. Do I really want to be here? And
but see, that's my thing. It would not shock. And I'm not saying he's not good enough to play at USC. I'm not saying USC's got to get better kids than him. It just would not shock me if USC told him, like, hey, we don't know if there's a position for you here right now, but we still want you. We're still interested. We're not going to remove the scholarship from you. If you want to play here, you can. And then he took that second visit. He's like, let me go look back at Notre Dame, because that's a really good school I can go to. That's a school that meets my values. Let me go there and let's see what it looks like.
Yeah, and how could you turn down Mike Mickens if he's heavily recruiting you with his track record of DBs? I mean,
he has the best defensive back in the NFL right now. So
he's got the best defensive back in college football right now. So
he's proven that if you work with him, you can be one of the best in the NFL. Of having Sauce Gardner. So it's just one of those things. He's been able to make these kids really, really good. Also, there's something that we forget. Kobe Bryant is a dog in the NFL. He's gonna get he's already got his extension. He might get a 30-year contract for a longer extension. He's a dog, and that's really big for a corner. And I think that's what some kids are going to see. This guy's teaching these kids how to play longer, how not to get in those situations. Like Kobe Bryant he faced one injury his second year in the NFL. He hasn't gotten hurt since. He's teaching them how to have longevity in the NFL.
Yeah, I completely agree. Real quick, we'll kind of go over the Texas Tech stuff.
John, did you just mug us?
We'll kind of go over the Texas Tech.
When you said Kobe Bryant, it made me think of Kobe Bryant.
The Texas Tech stuff here.
Too soon.
Real quick. So this is where it all stems from. For people that have been living under a rock the past couple days.
Or just have a fucking life.
Yeah, pretty much this was this. I'm the Texas Tech coach, and some of us.
I'm the 15
I was really
Texas.
excited whenever they joined the Big 12 because I think that they carry a lot of weight and a lot of respect. I think that I have a lot of respect for them entering a conference and not playing an independent schedule like other people. Y'all already know who that is. And so I have a lot of respect for that. I mean, they're earning their right, just like everybody but a couple of people in the nation are earning their right through conference play, and playing in some really tough places. I have so much respect.
Yeah. So how do we? So now you understand where that's coming from. How do we feel about those comments? I'm sure I kind of can understand.
As the representative of the Big 12, Texas Tech is the 5th best team in Texas. Give me Texas, give me Houston, give me the Cowboys, give me the Houston Texans, give me North Texas, give me TCU, give me SMU,
Baylor,
give me Baylor, give me Albany Christian,
give me Sam
Houston
State.
Give me Sam Houston State. Fuck Texas Tech. They are such a poverty fucking team, dude. This is the thing.
The NIL area is really good for them.
That is really good, but that's the thing. They wanted Texas to leave so bad. When they fucking, this is something people don't know about the Big 12. When Texas Tech found out Texas was leaving, they were the only team that cheered. Texas Tech fans were happy because they knew what that meant. That meant if you wanted to play Big 12 football, you wanted to play in the state of Texas, they weren't going to lose to Texas anymore in the recruiting path. And now with NIL, because they knew NIL was going to be around, they have the #1 recruiting path in the nation now for NIL in Texas, outside Texas and maybe SMU. But that's in the Big 12. Texas Tech would be scared shitless, and this is why I make the joke all the time, and we should join the Big 12, because I would love to dominate Texas Tech. That shitty fucking team. Don't even get me started on the fucking players they have on their team. Let's talk about Pop fucking Isaac, that piece of fucking shit. Look up Pop Isaac Battle of Atlantis. Go look it up.
That linebacker.
Also,
Texas Tech. That's what Texas Tech accepts.
Let's talk about the fact that good old, friend of the show, friend of the program, Marshall, Utah State and Texas Tech legend Henry Colombi has made 31 posts about Notre Dame in the last 72 hours. No,
it's the Marshall quarterback that beat us when
he has made 31 posts about Notre Dame in the last 72 hours.
And he called Fravel ugly, so we fuck with it for that.
He called me, and then he was flexing his smoke show wife. But
but if you really want to know what Texas Tech stands for, look up Pop Isaac Battle of Atlantis 2022 or 2023. Look it up.
By the way, Henry Colombi
is really, really good.
Oh, they are. Yeah, Jacob Rodriguez is a dog.
And he might. And I'm not comparing, and I'm not saying it's close or not saying it is. It might be the best pure linebacker, not the end or anything, season since Teo in the last decade.
The Texas Tech fans will tell you it's better than Teo.
I mean, people debate. I think it's wrong. The forced fumbles are insane, but.
I think we have bias. I think they have bias. I think they're just really great linebackers.
Teo picked off passes. Jacob Rodriguez does not. He just picks up balls on the ground.
He picks up balls.
Yeah.
That what Texas stand for, picking up balls?
Yeah.
But no, that's he's a really good linebacker. I think we have bias. I think they have bias. I just think we need to notice that this is one of the best linebackers we've seen since Manti Te'o.
Ben, who are you
just accept
taking,
that.
Manti Te'o or Jacob Rodriguez?
You're not going to like my answer.
Okay. Well, see.
Here's the thing.
I want a linebacker's different than what you want a linebacker. I want a linebacker that's going to go bash the fucking head open.
I'm going to say this, though. I think as a leader, as a man among men, and as a pure football player, and the season as a whole, Teo was better. That season was better. But as a smash mouth, go down and do it for your team linebacker, he is a beast. Would you agree with that, Ben?
Yeah, they're both. Yeah. No, well, that's my thing. I want a linebacker who's going to go down there and bust your fucking mouth open. I love Manti Te'o. I think he was a great coverage linebacker. He's a great over-middle guy. But if I'm building my dream team, I'm taking Jacob Rodriguez over Manti Te'o. Just because of what I want my dream team to do.
I'm so attached to that Manti, and I will always have this. Yes, I've seen whatever. I don't think I will ever see a defensive season in my life, and bias, yes, better than that. That was just such a. You looked at him and nobody else. You looked at him and nobody. It was so unique that to me, it's the best defensive player I'll ever see in college football.
I also think the moments, right? Manti Te'o had those Heisman moments. I remember the pick that sealed the
He
win
would have
against
won if it
Michigan.
wasn't for Manziel.
He had the game, or was it that acrobatic interception he had against Oklahoma on the road at night against a top 10 Oklahoma team? Like, I don't know. He just had moments that, I'll be honest, I haven't watched Jacob Rodriguez a whole lot this year because, be honest with you, Texas Tech plays a bunch of nobodies outside of 2 teams. So I haven't really watched, but I did watch him against BYU, made spectacular plays against BYU. But the thing is, it's just when you're doing it in the Big 12, I don't know. I just don't think it's as flashy
That
as it
year,
is.
Notre Dame played a lot of good teams.
Yeah, like Texas Tech's played 2 good teams. Congratulations, Jacob Rodriguez. You got 3 forced fumbles against Oklahoma State.
Don't discredit him, though. I mean, he is still a beast.
Probably
But
one
this
of the
coach
worst
for
teams.
Texas Tech, what the fuck are you talking about? What is that? What did that even be brought up?
Joey McGuire fucking is perfect representation of what Texas Tech allows. Just say it. He's a fucking idiot, unless there's something in my eye.
Can I ask, like, what do you guys, what can you guys give me a reason why he thought we just got a huge win against BYU? The first thing I'm going to start my press conference off with is not, that's a great BYU team. Credit to them. We played a hell of a game. Shout out to it's Notre Dame. BYU earned their way here, unlike some other teams that are independent. Why is that the first thing you say?
Because this is what they do. They know that the odds we play them are low, but they want to take shots. They just want to swing. That's all they do. These teams do this shit because they're like, oh, well, I get a clip if I, my fans are gonna love it.
They could also use it if we do play them. Like, oh, remember this was said.
Yeah, but like, let's be real. Texas Tech probably has the idea. Like right now, where they're ranked, we don't play them unless it's like the semifinals. Texas Tech knows that they're good, but they're not. They don't There's a certain belief where they're like, okay, we can maybe beat A&M. Like if we go out there and play our best game and we catch them in a certain way, we can maybe beat Ohio State. Things like that. Also, I just think he's upset. I think he's upset because he knows that Notre Dame does better than him without a conference. Notre Dame has no stability outside of their schedule, and they still get more credit than Texas Tech does.
But the thing is, like, BYU, right? The whole notion, and this is my argument I got into with BYU and Texas Tech fans, because BYU and Texas Tech fans have been holding hands together and meat riding each other for the past 2 weeks. It's disgusting behavior, by the way. Anyway, the whole, well, he's not right. I mean, he's not lying. He's right. You guys don't ever play anybody. BYU fans, you guys were independent too. You guys, like what Ben brought up, you guys ran away from Notre Dame in 2005. You know why? Because we were a good team. And you guys canceled the game that year. We were supposed to play them in Provo. They canceled the game. Then they turned the narrative into, well, Notre Dame's scared to play us in Provo. You guys left Independence. And you guys are somehow doing better in the win-loss column in a conference than you were as an independent. But Notre Dame's independent, and we're only as good as we are because we're independent.
You know what was funny? The year that BYU was ranked as independent, it was like, oh, even if there are 11 wins, like BYU's not getting in. But Notre Dame, there was like a very different independent feel.
Because they played G5 teams. BYU is what BYU did as an independent is what people say Notre Dame does. BYU, their entire time as an independent, outside of the Utah game, which for years Utah was dog shit. So that was basically a glorified G5 team they were playing. Like they were the independent team that was like, we're going to schedule UConn, we're going to schedule Colorado, who was bad, we're going to schedule Boise, we're going to schedule Hawaii, Cal. Like that was their scheduling idea. Meanwhile, Notre Dame was scheduling USC, a good Stanford, Navy, who was okay at times. You know, we played Georgia for a home and home. We played Texas for home and homes. Like, I just don't get where the Texas Tech fans and BYU fans think that, oh, you guys, such an advantage for you guys. You guys are an independent. We have respect for BYU because at least they're not a bunch of pussies.
At least they're playing.
Like, they're playing in a conference. Yeah, like the fuck out of here with that shit, man. And I hope to God Ben's Bearcats beat the absolute dog shit out of BYU.
They're not gonna survive a night in Clifton. They're not going to. It's what's
well. Speaking of that, that's a good roll into our pick'ems.
Yeah.
Well, but no, if you want to know what Texas Tech stands for, go look at Pop Isaac, the Battle for Atlantis 2023 kids. Want to know what Texas Tech stands for? There you go, right there. That's what they stand for.
All right, let's go ahead and get into our preview real quick, and then we'll get into our pick'ems. So Notre Dame, they go on the road to number 23 Pitt. Notre Dame is a 12.5-point favorite on the road. The over/under is set at 65.5. These odds are presented by our friends over at Novig. If you want to go ahead and get these odds, make sure you use code VOCFBND when you sign up for Novig. Remember, participants must be 21 years or older. And if you have a gambling problem, like our buddy Ben, get some help and call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, guys.
Quitter. Don't be a quitter.
How do we feel?
Definitely breaking a rule of me saying that.
How do we feel about this game? According to Pitt's head coach, this is not a must-win. He could care less if they get beat 110-10, as long as they win their next two. So how do we feel about this one? Do we beat them 110-10?
Notre Dame wins 38-17.
Ooh. Ben?
Close in the first half, falls apart in the second.
I have to give betting friends a good line here. Want great value, and I gotta get shit for saying it. If you want great value, take Pittsburgh money line. If you want great value, the fact they're offering that plus 400, amazing value. And the fact is that's probably got to keep going up. And you might get game day for plus 450. It's going up. I think we beat Pitt. But great value, you got to bet on great value when you see it. That's number one in real gambling. You're not playing with emotions, you're playing with money. So that's great value right there. It's a great investment. Like home game, biggest game of their season, college game day. It's possible they win. And the fact they're doing, I would say I give us probably a 65% chance of winning this game. The fact that it's 30, I'm giving 35% to Pitt, and then you're offering at plus 425, that's great value. You have to take that. But on the other hand, I do think we beat Pitt. I don't think Pitt's a great team outside of what they're really good at. They have a lot of flaws. I think their quarterback's decent. Their quarterback could one day be a great NFL pick. He could be a great NFL player. He could be next Kenny Pickett. We don't know.
Does he have baby hands? Does he have baby hands?
I don't think he has baby hands. He's going to be a great player. Outside of what they're really good at, their flaws, they're not great at correcting them. If they stack the box on Jeremiah Love, I have true belief that we're going to go over the top and we're going to beat them down the field. The thing is, we kind of had a game like CJ Carr, and I keep waiting for it. Some people say it's the Boston College game. I don't think it's the Boston College game. I don't think that game was on Carr offensively. We haven't had a game by CJ Carr yet where it's like we come back from throwing 2 picks in one half and we're able to show we're still able to win the game.
The Boise game?
No. Boise game was not. Boise was not good.
The USC game was probably his worst game.
USC was the worst game, but he really didn't have a terrible game outside of that. like outside of the pick.
16 for 22, 160 yards, one touchdown.
Yeah, that's you take away the pick, that's 16 for 21. Like that's a great game for a quarter. I'm saying like a game where he's got to go out there and go 13 for 25, or a game he's got to have double the amount of income. We're gonna see that game, and the fact that we keep pushing him, and we might not even see it till next year. Now, it's a possibility. I'll say that. I'll knocked on wood. That's not real wood. If you want to knock on wood at home, you can, but we haven't seen it. I'm just a little scared. But this could be a game that we're just gonna blow them out, or this could be a game that's really close and we have to make big plays. Pitt just is too good of a team for us to have this be a CJ Carr game where CJ Carr does not play well.
Yeah.
Score prediction?
Score prediction. Give me Notre Dame 27, Pittsburgh 18.
So you're hitting the under on that then?
Yeah, I'm hitting the under. I don't think this will be a high score.
Pitt is 22, by the way. 22.
Yeah, favorably, you dumb bitch.
Okay, well on the Novig app they have it as 22, 23.
On the Novig app they have it. Shut up, bitch. Fucking fix
it. Anyways, I think this is going to be an offensive shootout in this game. I think what Pitt does well is they throw the football, right? They're at one of the best offenses in the last 5 games in the country, putting up on over 40 points a game. Now, again, part of that is the competition, right? You're playing NC State, Stanford. You're playing a bad Florida State team, right? So those are all factors, right? They have the number 3 rush defense in the country coming into this one. I don't know how real that is because, again, the best 2 rushing attacks you faced this year was Florida State and West Virginia.
I wouldn't say that.
Florida State ran for over 170. West Virginia ran for over 170.
My main thing with that, yes.
Louisville is one of the best running backs in the country.
Yeah.
Top 3.
Was it Isaac Brown hurt in that game though?
No. I'll just pull it up. Keep going on.
Keep being wrong, Ryan. Keep going.
Anyway, but okay, regardless, we can all sit up here and say Notre Dame's rushing attack is way better than Florida State's and West Virginia's. Right. Like we can sit up here and comfortably say that. I also think
Isaac Brown had 14 carries for 20 yards.
Okay, never mind. So they did really well against Isaac Brown. With the style of defense that Narduzzi plays, they bring 6-man pressures quite a lot. So I think this is like you said, Ben. I think if we were going to have the CJ Carr letdown game, I don't think it's going to be against Stanford. And I don't think it's going to be against Syracuse.
I pray to Jesus Christ it's against Stanford.
Why? Because we good enough probably to come back from it against Stanford?
Because CJ Carr letdown game against Stanford is Jeremiah Love rushes for 300 yards. That's what CJ Carr letdown game is.
I do think that's going to be because Pitt's going to play the style of defense. They're going to try to bring extra blitzers to get Carr off balance. I do think Carr he's improved so much than what he was week 1 and week 2 when he gets pressure in his face. Freeman talked about it. He knows he's getting better at reading what he's seeing the defense in. He's getting better at, hey, are they in cover 0 or are they at cover 1? Are they cover 2 or are they cover 4? And he's getting much better at, switching the plays at the line of scrimmage, getting them in the right place. I do think this is the game where you're probably most likely to see, if it's going to happen, this would be the one. But I also think we really, outside of Arkansas, we haven't seen CJ Carr's I have arrived moment, in my opinion. I think this could be the game where we see the CJ Carr
arriving.
Like 300 yards passing, 4 passing touchdowns. I could see that being the case for CJ Carr this game.
I would disagree. He did have that
against Arkansas.
Oh, yeah, another one. NC State.
A&M.
Oh wait, and A&M too. Almost got 300. NC
Okay.
State. He threw for 342 against NC State. Was my main point.
Okay. Yeah.
But no, I agree with you. This could be a game where CJ Carr, like, we give him the ropes to be the guy who wins us this game, and he shows up. But my thing is that this could also be a game where we give him the ropes, and CJ Carr has some struggles.
Yeah,
it's just one of those risks that you take. And I would rather take that risk with CJ Carr than Kenny Minchie, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I do. So here's my thing. I think it's going to be an offensive shootout. My score prediction, I think they cover the over easily. I've got 42-28 Notre Dame at Pitt. We win by 14. We cover that spread. We also could hit the over. I think there's going to be a lot of points, and I think we're going to have the group chat bitching and
Say
complaining.
that score again.
42-28.
42-28.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a lot of people in the group chat. No.
No missed extra points.
No, swear to
One
God.
and a two-point conversion.
I think we're going to have a lot of people in the group chat after this week bitching and complaining that the defense has not improved because we gave up 28 points to Pitt. So I like, it is what it is. But yeah, I think Notre Dame covers and gets the dub.
I just think Pitt might not come in with the attitude of like after the coach comes.
Well, that's the thing. Do you think that I think it's just a mental mind game.
I think if game day wasn't there, then they would. But game day being there, they're going to.
I saw something that Reed could be out, or Reed could be limited, the running back for Pitt. So we'll see.
Yeah, I heard the coach at Pitt is saying it doesn't matter.
Not with all eyes on them. They have game day there. You think they want to shit the bed when everyone's looking at them?
I don't think they care.
Well, I saw was it JD Piquel? JD Piquel said
maybe he was acting like it because he's like, hey, this is a big game, but like the number one goal is to win ACC championship.
It could be the reverse where they're thinking it's a big game and they're acting like they don't care, but they really do. Like,
well, I want to say it was JD Piquel who said today, he's like, what he got from it was him saying, we don't have pressure on us to win this game. Notre Dame does. We realize that we're likely we have no shot at an at-large bid right now. Our only shot to make it is the ACC title. Beating Notre Dame doesn't help us in that regard.
Yeah, it doesn't. But that's my thing. I could definitely see it being like he wants to worry, like he's worried about this game because this is a big game for them. But realistically, season's not over if we lose.
Like if you have a guy
like
if Mason Heischel say, I knock on wood because I don't want that to happen. But say Mason Heischel gets what do you call it? He gets a little gimpy. Like say he like tweaks something, right? And it's minor. I could see it being a situation where like, hey, Mason's not 100%. We're not going to throw him back out there in a game that does nothing for us, whether we win or lose. I can see,
and that's respectable. I fully understand him wanting to, if he did that. That's fully.
Please do that. Please do that. Let's do our pick'ems.
Eli Holstein comes in and has a legacy game and just wins the game.
See, you say stupid shit like that, Fravo, it makes me want to punch you in the face.
Just wait till you hear his pick'ems.
Oh man! All right, let me get these pulled up
because he's gonna get punched in the face for picking Cincinnati.
All right, let's get these things rolling. Clemson at number 20 Louisville.
This is a Friday night ACC game.
Louisville wins Friday night games, man.
Clemson, give me Clemson.
Ooh.
Clemson has kind of figured some things out.
Dude,
I'm just going to say this.
Go back down, Ben.
What?
Like your shirt a little bit. Go down. Like just a little bit. All right. When you don't see the ND, it looks like you have the Blues Clues shirt on. The Blues Clues.
We just got a letter.
Yeah. I was declined from Notre Dame. So I went to Cincinnati.
Frable knows that show because him and his stepdaughter watch it all the time.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I hate you.
They watch Bluey instead.
It's Bluey.
Dude, I just learned the other day that Bluey is a girl, and my mind was absolutely...
Bluey's a girl?! What's this fucking communist bullshit?
My daughter called me out for it. I said, Do you want like I referred to Bluey as a he, and he goes, "Daddy, that's a girl. That's not a he." I'm like, "Oh, great! Now we gotta have gender conversations with my daughter."
You don't have to.
Anyway, I'm taking the Tigers in this one.
Fuck you.
You taking Clemson too?
Yeah, I say I took Clemson.
Okay,
I
What
think
is
it's
that?
crazy.
Look
I
attention
think it's crazy. Louisville's will be a
Ryan,
2.5 point.
Ryan, who did I pick? Who did
You
I
picked
pick?
Louisville. You
Oh,
picked
okay. At
Louisville.
least he's paying attention to me.
I think it's crazy. Louisville's only a 2.5 point favor at home against a 4-5 Clemson team.
It is Clemson.
It is, but that's crazy. Not having a touchdown.
All right, Minnesota at Oregon. The Golden Gopher.
Oregon.
Give me the Ducks. You can take row the boat.
No, fuck that. Give me Miss. I was about to say, give me Oregon.
All right.
PJ Fleck.
The Fighting Luke Fickles at Indiana.
Indiana.
Give me
Their
IU.
punter was their leading passer last week. Give me a break.
They could do the funniest thing ever.
Luke Fickles.
Luke Fickle has only lost to Indiana once in his career, and it's while he's at Wisconsin. Wisconsin.
No problem.
It would be the funniest thing ever.
All right, South Carolina
Luke
at.
Fickle gets
What was
20
your
minutes
pick?
extension. You took Indiana.
I took Indiana.
He didn't want to
South-
say Indiana.
South Carolina at Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
Oh, South Carolina.
Give me A&M.
Oh wait, no, give me A&M. Why the fuck did I say that?
Yeah. Michigan at Northwestern.
Michigan.
By the way, this is a neutral site. They're playing this at Wrigley, so that's interesting.
It's technically a home game.
Yeah.
Like it's in Chicago.
I want to take. You know what? Fuck it. Give me Northwestern in the upset.
Give me Michigan.
All right. South Florida at Navy.
I want to South Florida.
Give me Navy.
Navy.
All right, y'all pick Navy.
Arizona, the Bearcat. Wait, no, the Wildcats at the Bearcats. Which is the better Cats?
Arizona versus Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Give me the University of Arizona.
See, this is why we think you're a bitch, Sean. You show up late to the show, you pull your stupid shit.
I graduated from the University of Arizona.
Just because you make bad life decisions doesn't mean you got to put it out on us.
I went to school there online, so.
Phoenix University makes things possible.
See, one of the few times I know ball, give me Cincinnati.
What is Cincy?
Cincy? Oh my God, you can't read.
Cincinnati.
Oh, that fucking Arizona degree showing right there.
All right, Oklahoma at Alabama.
Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Like chaos. Oklahoma.
If Oklahoma wins, that fucks us. So I hope you.
I don't care. I like chaos. I think Alabama loses to Auburn to end the year.
Okay, I think you're insane, but we'll continue.
UCF at Texas Tech.
Texas Tech. I almost said Baylor.
Give me the Fighting Scott Frost. Give me UCF in the upset. Just because
didn't they upset them like a year or two ago?
They did.
Yeah, give me Texas Tech. I'm not a fucking idiot like Frable.
I know. Pick your upsets wisely, man. I've been actually really good. I've been very good with my college football picks.
I had the best upset of the year.
You did.
Western over fucking Penn State.
Actually, you took. I think you
No,
took.
I took Northwestern. Oh, I did take UCLA. I was going to bet on it, and I did it. Fuck. That's why I took Northwestern.
All right. Fucking NC State at Miami.
Wait, who'd you pick the other games?
What do you mean?
Did y'all both pick UCF or you? No, he picked.
Oh, I picked Texas Tech. I picked Texas Tech.
I'm picking NC State to beat Miami.
I am too. Give me the Fighting CJ Daniels. This is actually a home. This is a homecoming game for CJ Daniels. He played high school ball, literally, not that far from Hard Rock Stadium, and he was teammates in high school with Jeremiah Smith. Miami didn't offer him, so
Somebody listened to the NC State Georgia Tech game.
I did. Yeah. Give me Wolfpack. Ben?
First things first. His name is not CJ Daniels.
Or CJ Bailey, my bad. CJ Bailey.
There you go. Say his name. If we do it for the WNBA, we do it for college football.
Say his name, man. He appears.
Oh shit! I believe in Joe Hendricks. Oh shit! Let's go! That made my day right there.
Ben is fucking dying from cringe right now.
He don't even know what that is, bro.
Yeah, I saw him compete live in Indianapolis in the Royal Rumble. I saw him at the Royal Rumble.
Oh shit! Let's go, Ben.
But no, give me Miami. I don't think Miami loses this game. I think
My
they lose to
dad
Pitt.
was there, my little brother. So you pick Miami?
Yeah, I picked Miami. I think they
We
win
drove
this
to
game.
Indianapolis from Tennessee to go to the Royal Rumble too. So.
Yeah.
All right, Georgia Tech at Boston College.
Wait! I remember a conversation here. Fravel called me stupid for liking wrestling. Look at this.
I love wrestling. Now we'll talk after the show. I don't want to get
Okay, keep going.
Georgia Tech at Boston College.
Georgia Tech. Let's go quick with this one.
Boston College has the opportunity to fight
Georgia Tech.
Give me Georgia Tech.
Why? And your camera's off, Fravel.
Okay, hold on.
He's dressed. He's putting the Joe Henry wig on.
Florida at Mississippi.
Is that you?
Really?
You didn't
Next
make
game?
a pick, Ryan.
He said
Florida at
Boston
Ole Miss.
College.
No, I took Georgia Tech.
So next game is what?
Florida at Ole Miss.
That's not the next game.
That is the next game.
Are we not going to do Iowa USC?
We are.
Oh, okay. I was just looking at times. Ole Miss.
You know what? Fuck it. Give me Florida in the upset.
Lane Kiffin stays in the.
Sean?
He said Ole Miss.
Okay. Iowa at USC.
No, see?
USC.
Never trust the Trojan, but I'm trusting one this weekend.
It's not me. Oh, no, he didn't trust the Trojan. Because it's not your kid.
Well, typically they always bust on you, but you know.
I think you're using it I don't think you're using it correctly. Give me Iowa. Never pick USC.
Sean, did you take USC?
Of course.
All right. UVA at Duke.
Is UVA's quarterback playing with the concussion?
Yes. He got cleared today.
You know, it's so funny because my friend, a Virginia fan, whining like a little bitch. I told him he'll be back in a week. He's like, "Did you not see that hit?" I was like, "He'll be fine." I'm going to pick Duke.
All right. Give me Duke in this one as well. Give me the chaos.
Yeah, give me Duke. I'm gonna be taking Duke because it'd be the funniest thing ever. Duke loses to UConn, and then the next week beats number 19 Virginia.
Thanks, Charlie.
All right. Let's see. Utah at Baylor. Night game at Waco.
You know, that's a sleeper game.
Give me Baylor.
I'm going with my heart with this one, not my mind. I'm going to pick Baylor.
The Fighting
give me Utah. I don't think Baylor's good.
Their offense is great. Their defense is just trash.
Similar to Utah.
Yeah. Texas at Georgia.
Georgia.
UGA. Horns down.
Give me Texas.
You're a
I fucking hate you.
I love insanity. I want to 3 lost teams.
Notre Dame's going to beat a ranked opponent and fall in the polls.
Yep.
All right. Final game of the week, TCU, the Texas Christian Frogs, at the BYU Storm and Mormons.
BYU. Give me the Christopher Smiths.
History tells us that anytime the Christians go up against the Mormons,
Oh!
it doesn't usually go well. So give me the horny frogs of Texas.
All right, it was a fun last show, guys. Maybe next time it'll work out, but it's not going to work out.
Damn it. Oh, man. All right, who are you taking, Ben?
Give me BYU. Jesus Christ.
Hey, that was pretty tame. You know what? Like,
How dare you
Compared to the shit that Frable said to Ari last night on the spam account, yeah.
Oh, here we go. That's fucked
He
up.
says,
Man.
I'm going to pick BYU and Jesus Christ in the same sentence.
No, I took TCU. I took the Christians. All
Not
right.
you.
I said Jesus Christ. I said I'm going to take BYU.
All right. That's it for our pick'ems, and that's it for our show tonight. For the 166 people watching right now, make sure you go over to the Voice of College Football Notre Dame. You can drop a like, sub, comment, let us know what you think of the show. As always, we will be back next week, same time as always. As always, guys, stay safe and go Irish.
Go Irish.
Go Irish.